of bringing back plane loads of criminal, illegal alien gang members.
But you haven't proven that they're criminals. That's the problem.
If Democrats want to stand in the way of that and they want to tell their constituents, hey, vote.
All right, guys, couldn't wait. It's been a while since I've seen a good Brian Tyler Cohen debate. And he's back and he's taking down the ever so lovely MAGA feminist Tomi Lahren. And, you know, again, MAGA is on W's. And, well, guys, I don't know. The W's of MAGA that they think they're getting is just going to be their downfall. It really is. So let's go ahead and see Brian Tyler Cohen mop the floor with Tomi Lahren.
It's been a few years since we've had them on together. We needed to cool down over that period. So we're excited to welcome both of you back to The Issue Is.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having me. And I would just like to say the last time that I had the pleasure of talking to Brian Tyler Cohen, President Trump was not our president. So it's a great day for me to be here with President Trump back in office, and I can't wait to get into it.
Okay, well, let's begin by what President Trump did this week, Tomi. President Trump's tariffs. There is an escalating trade war going on between the U.S. and China.
By the way, guys, please don't forget that the like and subscribe button. Definitely the subscribe button, guys. I want to, blow this channel up. I thank everybody who's watching. I see I get like 1 or 2 views, and I'm happy about anybody who clicks this video. So thank you so much. And yeah, let's get it done together. If we could blow up this channel. All right, let's get right back into the video.
Well, the president has placed a 90-day pause on most of his reciprocal tariffs on other countries. Wall Street seemed to like that. We've seen huge swings in the stock market. Tomi, what do you think of the president's trade policy?
Listen, this is the art of the deal at its best, and I understand that there was some volatility on Wall Street, and that's understandable, and I don't ever want to downplay anybody's concerns when it comes to their finances, their 401k, their retirement. I completely understand the anxiety there, but what President Trump has said, and I believe, is this is less about Wall Street and more about Main Street, and what you're also seeing is this president in action. He's managed to, in a couple of days' time, isolate China from the rest of the world, put them in their place. He's got that 90-day pause. Other countries coming to the table, 70 plus, lining up to make deals with this president. So I'm incredibly happy to see this thing play out. I understand the anxiety. I trust the process. I trust this president, and I think that we're off to the races.
Brian,
okay, so before, because Brian is going to give the rebuttal. I won't give the rebuttal yet, okay? But next time when she talks, listen to her cadence. Understand that this is it's learned. It's like I don't want to say learned behavior. These are actors and actresses, and maybe Brian is one too, right? And maybe she wanted to be an actress. I don't know, but it is the cadence in which she gives the talking points that it's starting to sound robotic for me. But a lot of other people won't see it yet because they're so euphoric in their so-called W's that they're going to miss that point. This is a small detail that you have to be able to see. But let me go ahead and give it to Brian.
Trust this president?
I don't think that I trust the president any more than most of the country trust the president on the economy right now. The reality is that this is an economic calamity that he has ushered in, and he's done it unilaterally and voluntarily. If we actually do descend into a full-blown recession, which most people, most economists are predicting that we will right now, it'll be the first time that it's done at the hands of an American president for, completely unforced as an error, a completely unforced error. The reality is that the stock market is tanking. All of our indexes are in correction territory. If a Democratic president did this, Tomi would be apoplectic at the ruin that has been ushered in. And the only time there was some momentary reprieve in the stock market is when Donald Trump himself caved on his own policy. And finally, Tomi, you had mentioned that we're isolating China on the world stage. There's reporting now that Japan and South Korea are negotiating trade deals with China to go around American tariffs. There's reporting that the EU is working with China to eliminate those tariffs for EVs. So I'm concerned that you're not familiar with which country, in fact, is actually being isolated on the world stage. It doesn't look like it's China.
China needs us far more than we need China, as goes for the rest of the world. I understand the global economy, and I understand the anxiety here in the market reacting to it, but it's pretty simple. The way things were going was unsustainable. This president understands that. So that's why he was elected in many ways, for total upheaval. The Democrats are the party of the status quo. Keep everything the same, to simply just grow government, have more government jobs. This president doesn't see it that way. He believes in America and he believes in the American people. Not only.
Okay, so let's stop with the look. Okay, it's already bad enough she's got the bionic Barbie type of. By the way, I like Barbies. I like blonde hair. I do wear an extension. Okay, but it's well, you know, I liked Barbie when I was a little girl. But anyway, I digress. I hate that I do that. But when you hear her talk again, okay, and this is our president and the Democrat. Like, calm down, Tommy. Matter of fact, let me calm down because I think I'm blaring into the mic because seriously, like, just relax, Tommy. Okay? Because first of all, you're lying to the American people. I'm not going to tell you how Trump feels, if he hates America, if he doesn't. That's a subjective argument. It's pointless to me. When people go that route, it's emotional. We're wasting time. What you need to know is that this going after China is just an escalation to China. Now, I'm not saying that we're going to fight some big war in China. Wars are fought very differently now. But, you know, there's always the potential for physical force, kinetic war. But I don't think it's what people go to immediately, right? To say that things weren't sustainable the way they were going, they apparently they were because we were doing it this way for decades. Suddenly it became an emergency that we needed to charge 100-something% tariffs on China. And this was supposed to be tariffs on everybody, remember? This isn't about the American people. Trump dropped the tariffs on everybody else and then keeps pushing harder on China. Remember, if you have been watching this channel, you will know that I've talked about the Panama Canal. And if I'm not mistaken, I have to be sure, I think that they deployed some people over to that Panama Canal, but I could be wrong. So I don't want to say that. But remember, China is holding up the sale of the Panama Canal to BlackRock, okay? So therefore, this is kind of like a stronghold. The government is now working for BlackRock, and, you know, we're going to make sure China, you know, makes the sale go by start placing a bunch of crazy tariffs on them out the way that are outrageous. Yes, Trump did tariffs before, but not like this. They're outrageous, and they are for the corporations. And as a stranglehold so that China will allow that sale to go through. And I do believe that sale will go through. I do. But the problem is, if that sale goes through, it gets in the way of China's South global like influence, you know, on those other countries. So I don't know, man, but this has nothing to do with, oh, we want to go mainstream now with these talking points. I don't know if she's lying to the people on purpose or if she just doesn't know.
Only does he want to bring industry and business back to this country, good paying jobs for hardworking blue collar Americans, but he also understands that he is in a position uniquely to negotiate with the rest of the world, including China. This president is not inflexible. He said he's willing to make deals. He's welcoming these other countries to make deals. But I would say trust the American people, trust American industry, and understand that the way things have been going for the last 4+ years was not sustainable. Somebody had to do it. This president is willing to take the political risk to do it, and he believes in the process. He believes in the American people. He believes in the hardworking Americans that the Democrats would do well to understand they are hemorrhaging. Continue to go to bat for China and Wall Street. I think this president's fighting for the American people, and he's going to win big time because of it.
Tommy, what
is the thing that was happening in 4 years? What, that China was like selling us goods? Or I'm sorry, what? 4 years. What was the 4-year thing that was happening? That would have been my question. Like, Tommy, what was happening in 4 years? I mean, can you tell? Well, China's taking advantage. Yeah, they've been doing that for decades. They didn't just start doing that under Biden. Like, come on now, we can't do that. I was not for Biden myself, but we're not just going to sit here and play people.
Your great strengths is that you are connected to so many people in the middle of the country who are hardworking, blue-collar type people. A lot of them voted for Donald Trump because they expected prices to go down. Are you concerned that a lot of President Trump's base is now going to see their own prices go up and they can't afford that?
Listen, I think we've seen from the report that not only is inflation cooling and the consumer price index has been favorable to this president. Again, the egg prices that they wanted to go down within the first day of the inauguration, those egg prices are down. Oil is down, so your gas prices are going to go down. That's going to fuel the economy in great and wonderful ways. I understand that anytime you make a dramatic transition, the markets are going to react to that. There is a nature of unpredictability. But I would say trust the process, trust this president, and you know what, Alex? If this doesn't work out in 6 months to a year, have us back on. I will eat crow. But for right now, I'm betting on the negotiator in chief. I believe he's bringing these countries to the table. He's the president of the United States. This country is the most powerful economy in the world. And it's about time that we get some fair and better trade deals for the United States and the American people. That's what this president's doing.
And Brian, I mean, Tomi talks about this, but policies like NAFTA, a lot of folks in the middle of the country felt really hurt them, really hurt manufacturing, and did not help them, even though it made Wall Street richer. What about those folks?
The reality is that if the economy is cratering, which Donald Trump is ushering right now, that's not going to help anybody. It's not going to help those folks in the middle of the country. It's not going to help the folks who are looking to reshore jobs back in the United States. The market is looking for one thing, and that is, first of all, stability and a good faith negotiating partner. Donald Trump has proven that he is neither one of those things, which, by the way, is why foreign countries are dumping American bonds right now. And so that shows that no one is willing to invest in the United States across the world because they see that there is no stability in this country. And we talk about our trading partners. We've shown nothing but hostility to our trading partners. We've shown nothing but hostility to Mexico, to Canada. And so are these people going to be more likely to invest in the United States, more likely to get into business with Donald Trump, or less likely? We like to think of ourselves as this global behemoth that's beyond the reach of all of these other foreign countries, but we live in a globalized economy right now. And the fact is that we're not going to be able to do a lot of what we rely on other countries to do right here in the United States. We rely on a global economy. And right now, Donald Trump is doing nothing but making it more difficult for us to be able to negotiate those deals. And if he's tanking the economy in the meantime, that's not going to help anybody, whether they're in the middle of the country or on the coast of the country, whether they're Democrats or Republicans.
We're talking with Tomi Lahren.
So, I mean, yeah, that's true. Look, I guess I'm just one of those who, like they do, Donald Trump, like, for the content, it's good to do it that way. So what can I say, right? For me, it's just a continuation of the same thing. My God, these words that I'm using, I never would have thought that I would have used them. People would say, and it is because people would come at me and be like, Trump's no different than anybody else, Trump. And I used to be like, no, he is different. I would believe it. I would feel it like, he's definitely different. Like, he's not like the rest. And so it became more of a character thing for me for a while. But when you look at the infrastructure, our infrastructure, when you see what people are calling the deep state, which is just nothing but full infiltration, whether it's technocracy on like the technocrats or whatever. I'm not going to say billionaires because I don't mind somebody who has $1 billion if you're using it for the right thing. If I had $1 billion, I'd invest in the government to do things for Americans, right? But when you see what all goes into it, when it comes to foreign lobbies, Israel lobby, there's no deep state. There's nothing that you have to look for. It's in your face. So you see it's the same thing. China, and when Bill Clinton was making his speeches about opening the doors to China and everything else, there were Republicans there who were right along with it, okay? So all of a sudden, this emergency, no, it's not about an emergency for the American people. It's about release the Panama Canal. So we'll watch what happens with that.